His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably represented by Senator George Akume, CON, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The chief host for this event today, and my big brother, Dr. Henry Dele Alake, the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development, a distinguished Senator Ekong Samson, the Senate Committee Chairman on Solid Minerals Development, representatives of different states and local governments here present, Engineer Farouk Yusuf Yabo, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, heads of government agencies and parastatals here present, members of the Diplomatic Corps, sponsors, partners, and participants of Nigerian Mining Week 2025, gentlemen and ladies of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my great honor to deliver this special ministerial address at this special edition of the Nigerian Mining Week as it marks its 10th anniversary. The Nigerian Mining Week, which has gradually grown into a household brand in the African mining landscape, has become a platform for knowledge exchange and sectorial visioning amongst the growing spectrum of mineral industry players, policymakers, investors, development partners, etc. My special appreciation once again goes to the Minister of Solid Minerals Development and the organizers of the Nigerian Mining Week for according the Nigerian steel industry a deserving place in this year's program. It is important to stress that the steel sector, as a minerals-based industry, remains one of the major drivers of investment in the mineral sector, especially in iron ore, fluxes, coal, and other non-ferrous metallic minerals abundant in Nigeria, which are used for steel production. The theme of this year's Nigeria Mining Week went further to reinforce the importance of value addition as one of the key drivers and industrial growth to gain global relevance and competitiveness, as well as harness the full potential of our mineral endowments. This underscores, in the case of Nigeria, the prominent emphasis that should be given to policy consistency, affordable, efficient energy supply in the program prospects, as well as imperatives of efficient logistics, such as haulage infrastructure, road, rail, waterways, and ports, as well as natural gas. The expected synergy between the different stakeholders here present is crucial if we must surmount the obvious challenges facing the minerals industry in Nigeria to enable us drive the realization of Mr. President's target to grow the economy to a GDP of $1 trillion by 2030. I want to assure all stakeholders that the potential of the sectors are obvious, and the enablers includes our market size, the abundant local raw materials, state of infrastructure, African Continental Free Trade Agreement, federal government incentives, etc. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the three key priority areas of President Tinubu's administration as it relates to minerals and metal sectors, of which steel is a subsector, includes: 1. Unlocking energy and natural resources for sustainable development, enhancing infrastructure and transportation as enablers of growth, and accelerating diversification through industrialization, digitization, manufacturing, and innovation. A critical evaluation of the above priority areas suggests the critical place of the mineral sector in the realization of these goals, especially in the areas of industrialization and manufacturing, like I mentioned above. The charge to all of us today is to further call our urgent attention to the overall critical importance of this platform, the positive impact of a virile steel sector as a demand driver and mineral value addition strategy for our national development. It is important to also emphasize that local steel production in Nigeria would drive massive local steel raw material consumptions from iron ore, limestone, dolomite, refractory clay, coal, etc., etc. We are collaborating with critical stakeholders across the federal government, especially our sister ministry of steel development in this regard. There are a number of key milestones that is important to mention. A part of Mr. President's objectives when the ministry was set up in August 2023 was to reduce the importation of steel raw materials estimated at over $4 billion annually, to also evolve a regulatory regime that would guide the sector, to monitor quality standards for local and foreign steel production and generate employment. There are a number of achievements and outcomes that should help position the minds of prospective investors. One is the methodological industry bill, which has passed the second reading and is going through various discussions to become law eventually. Policy alignment is also critical. Policy alignment in terms of the review of the metals policy document and our sectorial roadmap for a sustainable growth of the sector with a target production of 10 million metric tons by 2030 is a key objective. The Ajaokuta Steel Complex. It's important to note that the history of steel sector in Nigeria would not be complete without the mention of Ajaokuta Steel Complex. Although the steel industry led by the government asset of Ajaokuta has had a nearly 5 decades jinx, and the government is determined to break that jinx. We signed a memorandum of understanding in September 2024 with the original equipment manufacturers for the rehabilitation, completion, and operation of the steel sector. The constraints of the Russia-Ukraine war has allowed us to explore partnerships with Republic of China for the realization and revitalization of Ajaokuta Steel Complex and the National Iron Ore Mining Company. The President will give his final approval based on the financial, managerial, and technical competencies of our partners. One of the other additional things we've done as well is we have done the groundbreaking ceremony in partnership with NNPC Limited for 5 mini LNG plants in Ajaokuta that has attracted over $500 million. We are also in advanced conversations with the Ministry of Defense and the Defense Industry Corporation of Nigeria to commence production of military hardware, such as rifle, vests, helmets, and bullets. The Delta Steel Company, which was also comatose for several years before the advent of this government, has committed to restarting the place within 18 months, and they've shown us a blueprint of a new investment of $450 million. The Aluminium Smelter Company of Nigeria in Ikot Abasi is another legacy asset that is very dear to the current administration. And in July 2024, Mr. President directed that the impasse revolving around the legal impasse as well as the natural gas supply should be resolved. The current management team has committed to investing $465 million over the next 6 years to achieve full capacity of 200,000 metric tons per annum of aluminium ingots. In conclusion, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in a gathering of this magnitude, it will be important to inform stakeholders that the federal government, in its effort to reposition the Nigerian steel industry for sustainable growth with increased foreign direct investments, can only be possible with sustainable mineral raw material supply. The robust business engagements and policy formulation assignments for the development of strategic minerals are key in these conversations. I want to conclude by thanking President Tinubu, ably represented by the Secretary of the Government of the Federation, for the fatherly support always that has been extended to these critical sectors of our economy. I want to use this opportunity to thank the participants for the scheduled steel forum at the 2025 Mining Week, which is scheduled to hold tomorrow. I wish you all successful deliberations, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.